Hello and welcome back. Today is Thursday, December 2nd. I can't even believe, I know we say this every single episode, but I honestly can't even believe how fast 2021 flew by and it's already into December. Before you know it, we'll be saying Happy New Year. Hello, my name's Kaylee Mayo. As you know, thank you for hopping on, tuning in, and listening to us today and every single Monday and Thursday as we bring so much valuable information to you. So, today's topic I'm very excited to talk about because a lot of times entrepreneurs don't do this, and it's very important to do this. And that is the importance of taking a break. Okay. So, as entrepreneurs and building businesses and doing the things that we do, we tend to always be on. And that's not good for us. And we need to learn how to take a break and know that it's okay. So today you're seeing me solo here as my business partner, Sarah Easterbrook, is taking a break. And she's taking vacation for a week, stepping away from being on all the time and enjoying time with her husband, some friends, and exploring her island in PEI, which is really, really cool, right? And I'm so glad that she gets to do that. And I'm so glad as an entrepreneur, you're able to do that. But the thing is, a lot of entrepreneurs don't. Why? Because, you know, we have the mindset that we always have to be on. If we're not on, we may miss a conversation with somebody, or we may miss a posting opportunity, or we have the mindset that we're going to miss something, right? And that's a lack mindset. That's a lack mentality. So I want to talk about this today, and I want to make it normal to feel okay to step away. You don't have to be on all the time. And obviously, you don't want to be off all the time, but you have to find that happy medium in there. So, I'm an entrepreneur. Sarah's an entrepreneur. As you know, we have a business called The Money Makers, and it's absolutely amazing. We have a Facebook group, we have a website, we have all these things, as a lot of entrepreneurs do. And there's a lot of stuff to do when you're running your own business, right? There's a lot of stuff that entrepreneurs don't see. When going to start a business. So when they get into working a business and they get into being on, and putting the work in to get things done, what happens is it creates almost like stress in the body. It creates you being tired and feeling like you're hustling, and maybe it even makes you feel like, to the point that you're hustling and bustling so hard to get all of this done, that when you sit down to do every task, you're not really focused. You're not bringing your best ideas forward. Sometimes you may find that you sit down at your computer to finally, move on to the next thing, and you're just sitting there for 20 minutes and you don't want to do it because you're tired, you're exhausted, you're putting all of your time into your business. And that is what I want to break here. I want to break the thought and the belief that that's what has to happen in order to be successful, right? Because that doesn't have to happen in order to be successful. And I will tell you what you should do in order to be successful. And that is knowing when to take a break, knowing when to disconnect. And I'm not saying, it's the same for everybody, because some people love being on all the time. But even if you love being on all the time, you need to also still take that break. Okay. It is so, so important for us as human, let alone entrepreneurs, to take that break, be with ourselves, and ground ourselves. But also, this allows us time to be fully connected, not to our business, but ourselves, to feel our best, to look our best, to, fuel our body the best that we can, to meditate, to visualize, to write our affirmations out, to, write out gratitude. And a lot of times, entrepreneurs don't take the break, focus on themselves, and unwind for a bit because they're so in their business. Okay. And I want you to know that it's okay to step away. It's okay to take that break. Because what happens, right? You can probably think right now of a time in your life, or you may even be in a time right now where you just feel like it's hustle, 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 push. I got to get this done. You have a list for your next list and another list. It's just very overwhelming, right? And you feel that. You feel your body tensing up. You feel your thoughts stopping and not being as creative because you're in a place where your body's not at ease because it's trying so hard, right? Now, you've maybe been at a place like that before. You may be in that place right now, but I want you to picture this now. So you've been in that place. You maybe are in the place now of feeling and doing these things. Now, if you were to tell yourself, next Friday, I am taking a break, I'm stepping away, I'm completely unplugging, and I'm going to have a me day. I'm going to do something for me. I'm going to completely unplug, disconnect, not even have my computer on, my phone on, whatever it may be. It might literally be taking a 4 or 5, even a 3-night vacation and go somewhere and do something, right? Disconnect. Because when you disconnect and you go to that place and you're feeling good and you're happy and you're making memories and you're having a good time and you don't have to worry about all of the things you were worried about and thinking about, and you're able to disconnect. Do you think when you come back from that 2-day, 3-day, 4-day, 5-day, disconnect vacation that you took and gave yourself permission to do you feel like you'll come back re-energized, refocused, probably a lot more creative ideas brought forward, things that you thought about while you were on vacation and you were like, oh my God, I wasn't even thinking about work, but I just seen something happen and it sparked an idea in my mind to think that would be so cool, right? Because you're not in the hustle and bustle. You're not having to think of all of the things and be creative. You're just relaxed, spending your time doing whatever it is you want to do, feeling good, your vibe's high, your energy's high, and the creative juices start flowing. Right? So when you come back from that and you get back into your work, do you think that you're going to be excited to get back into it and you're going to have these new ideas and you're going to feel good because you were able to disconnect and release all of that, heavy feeling that you had? Or do you think you're going to come back and be completely upset again, feeling going hustle and bustle again, right? You're probably going to feel more relaxed, come back rejuvenated, and also remember why it is that you do what you do. Because as entrepreneurs, we're so in it all the time, right? When you work a standard, 7 to 3, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, whatever it is that you do, not as an entrepreneur and you just work a job, do you clock out at 4, 5, 3, whatever time you leave your job and go home and you're still working the whole time? Do you? Probably not, right? When you leave your job, you leave. So that's so important for you as well, being an entrepreneur, because you need the disconnect, right? You need that disconnect. If you're feeling like you're always on, you're going to slow yourself down, actually. So you need that disconnect. Set boundaries for yourself. Set times that you're going to work. So if you want to work, and this is the beautiful thing about being an entrepreneur, but also it's like a curse for being an entrepreneur, right? Because you have to master the mindset of it to be productive in your own ways. Okay. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're deciding that your workday is 9 to 3 or 10 to 4 or whatever it is you want to work, listen to yourself. If you're saying, I'm going to be done at, 4 o'clock, after that, I'm disconnecting, then do that. Okay. Because it's very, very easy to feel the burnout. And you never want to get to that place as an entrepreneur. I mean, it happens. I've been there. But it's very easy to avoid when you take that break. Because even as entrepreneurs, we weren't put on this world to just work, and nothing else, right? You probably started your career as an entrepreneur doing whatever it is that you like because you wanted more time freedom. You didn't want to work by the means of somebody else telling you when and when you can't do something or when you have to work and can't go on vacation, right? But when you get into being an entrepreneur, we still fall around the same mindset of having that job that you can't go on vacation because you have to work, you have to get it done. You're missing events because I have to get this done, right? If you can picture yourself in any of these situations, you can probably go back in your memory right now and think of times that you did have burnout. You did, come up with exhaustion. You did just get into a rut with your wheels spinning. And you can go back to that time right now and think, if I would have just taken an hour to disconnect, go for a walk, get some fresh air, move my body, move my energy, go grocery shopping, whatever it is you love to do, just to disconnect, go outside and walk in the grass barefoot, do some gratitude, walk around, breathe in the fresh air, and then come back and revisit that situation that you're picturing right now, you can probably see that if you removed yourself from that, took the break, did something for you, got your energy and your focus back up, you could have came back to that with a clear head and a very, very smooth hour of work, right? That's why it is so important as an entrepreneur to disconnect, right? And it's not something that is going to be easy, especially if you don't disconnect and you don't take that break. It's hard to unlearn the hustle, right? I sometimes still have the thought of, I can't do that. I have to work, right? But that's the beautiful thing. We have to have discipline as an entrepreneur in both ways. Discipline to sit down, time block and get stuff done, but also discipline in the time blocking to time block for you, right? If you don't want to sit down and do work for 2 hours straight because you know that when you do that, you start to feel your body not feel good, you start to get a headache maybe, you start to get anxious because you're trying so hard and nothing seems to be happening. If you know around 2 hours you start to feel that happening, 2 hours is too long for you. So when you're sitting down and you're, planning your week, you're planning your day, you're planning your month, however you do it in your business, know and take into consideration that when you're disciplined with your schedule, don't schedule yourself in to sit for that long. and do something, right? Listen to your body. You know yourself, how you are, what you're doing, and how you're feeling when you're performing at your best, right? You also probably know how you feel, what you're doing when you're not performing at your best and you're feeling the stress and you're distracted and foggy minded, right? You know. So do what makes you run better. Do what has you operating smoothly. Do things that you know are going to make you perform to the best that you can. And my perspective, every time I've talked about this with entrepreneurs or people that aren't even entrepreneurs but are just so invested in their 9 to 5 job that when they bring it home with them, when I started talking to people like this, they they say, I know, like, I know I'm doing this. So if we know, we also know we need to step back. Okay. And like I said, it's not easy because when you've been doing this for so long, you have the mindset that the what ifs in a negative way when you take that break, right? Well, what if I take that break from 11 till 2 and, you know, 5 people message me and I don't get back to them in time. So they're already gone and off doing something else. And then it won't matter because no, see, disconnect that thinking altogether. You need to know and have the thought process and the mindset that when you take that break and you step back for an hour in your day, for 2 hours, or if you're taking a break is just one full day a week, for me, I unplug completely on Saturday. But you know that when you're unplugged and you're focused on you, you're feeling good. You're running at your optimal. You're performing at another level. Your mind is clear. You have creative ideas coming in. You then have people reaching out to you. You have success happening in your business. Your inbox is always full, right? So when you feel your best and you're doing things for you and you're taking that break, and it's important to you now to take that break because you can feel yourself, not taking the break. It's so important. So, so important. Because when you're operating at your highest and you're feeling your best, it's the law of polarity. Sorry, not the law of polarity, the law of attraction. You attract what you put out. So you can see the difference if you're in a hectic state, if you're stressed, if you're pushing and trying so hard and nothing's happening, you're attracting more of it, right? If you're taking that time for yourself and you're re-energizing yourself and you're focused on yourself and you fuel yourself with that good food, the dense nutritious foods, and you're drinking your water and you're going to get some fresh air and you're doing things you love, like maybe unplugging for that complete day, and the whole time you're unplugged, you don't have to think about your business. You don't have to think about losing out on anything. You're thinking that when you come back to your business, everything's going to be exactly how it was when you left it 40 minutes ago, right? You're going to have conversations started, and those people are going to pick right back up as soon as you respond. It's not the worry of leaving and missing out. And when you have the mindset of positivity, when you do take that break, you're going to come back feeling so good, so refreshed, and jump right into it. Right? But it's so, so important. So make sure you're taking that break throughout the days, but also pick a designated day through the week and completely disconnect. Like I just said, for me, it's on Saturdays. I spend it with family. We meal prep, we make homemade dinner. If we want to clean the house, we can clean the house. If we want to play a board game at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll play a board game. If we want to watch a movie by the fire, we'll do that, right? So it's all in how you want to take that break, but it's so important that you do it. Okay? So analyze yourself. Notice when you're not feeling that you're performing at your best, right? And take note of that. If you've noticed you're tracking now your feeling and the emotion with your business through a week, and you notice that when you sit and you've been sitting and working and thinking for 2 hours, you start to get stressed out, you start to feel like you hit a block, you start to, not have the thoughts of, I don't want to be sitting here anymore doing this. Take that thought and know, okay, around 2 hours, this isn't I'm not being productive anymore. That's when I need to take that break. Okay? Or around certain parts of your business. If you feel like every time you work on content creation, you just have a mental block and you get anxious and you get stressed out and you're thinking so hard, what am I going to do for this week, because last week went by so fast and it's already Monday again and I've got to do this again. And you feel like every time you sit down to do that one part of your business, you get overwhelmed and stressed. Maybe it's time to look at that part of your business and say, I don't like to do this part, but it has to happen. So I'm going to go on Fiverr. I'm going to go on an app. I'm going to go on social media and see, because everything in our business people do for a living. People literally can create a content plan for you where you just got to plug it in, plug and play, right? So if you've noticed that part of your business you're always struggling with and you feel your energy dropping, maybe it's time to look at that and hire somebody else to do that. Say, I don't like doing this part of it. This is what I would like. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Can you do that for me? Sure, right? Somebody will come in and do that for you. So now you feel so good because you don't have to think about it. You don't have to even touch that. You just have to get what they give you and put it up for content, right? That is so amazing when you can do that for yourself, because then you're taking that time, maybe that 3 hours that you used to spend on that, and all of the emotion and the feeling that you got with that 3 hours of doing the thing you didn't like, and now it's gone. It's gone. Somebody else is doing it, and you're able to do something that you like in your business that makes you feel good, or you're simply just freed up 3 hours of your time to disconnect, take that break then, and go do something for yourself, right? But it's so, so important. So if you're an entrepreneur and you're feeling the hustle and the burnout and it's just not working and it's day after day, do this. Analyze your time. Analyze your emotion and your feeling in every single part of the task of business and see where, the negatives are. Because when we can establish that and know where we feel good, where we don't, that's powerful. And it's so powerful because, because then you can say, okay, I don't like this. I don't feel my best when I'm doing this. Disconnect from it, right? Disconnect from it. But we have to disconnect. We have to take that break. And we don't have to feel guilty for doing that, right? Because you became an entrepreneur to have more time freedom. I feel like even, everybody that has a 9 to 5 job or a government job has that goal as well, as they want time, right? Because that's one thing that's not certain in this life, is how much time we have. So when we understand that we can control everything it is that we do, and we can delegate our time, and we can do what it is that we want to do and the feeling that we want to feel, your business just went from doing all right, but all the back work to it, the burnout, the 4 hours of sleep a night, the cranky kids, the cranky you, the cranky husband, all of that was where your business is now. Can you imagine if you analyzed yourself, started taking those breaks and operating at your best? One, you'd have more you time. Two, it wouldn't be push, 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 get this shit done, struggling from one task to the next and not fully being there and not even wanting to be there. It's going to take the stress out of everything. But when you realize that, and how you feel, how you operate at your best, you're going to see your business attracting that. Your business is going to attract the best. It's going to attract everything you need and want to you. Right? So it's just very, very important. I'll say it for the 10th, maybe 20th time this episode. It is very, very important to take that break, to step back and disconnect. So I want to challenge you to doing that, especially over the holidays. A lot of people tend to disconnect more because it's a special opportunity, but it shouldn't be a special opportunity, right? It should be you being able to do that any time of the year, not just because it's a holiday coming up and you have things going on. You should have things going on throughout your entire life, not just special occasions, right? So look at yourself this week, see how you're feeling, see where maybe you could see in your days where you should take a break and step back, or a full day in your week that you find yourself, not wanting to do the work at all. And I find more of it's on the weekends because, it's more of a family time in my household anyway. So look at that, analyze it, feel the emotion you're feeling when those things are coming up, and change it, because you can. You have the power to change it. You have the power to change anything, but you just have to start doing it. So if it's hard for you to disconnect, and it's hard for you to see stepping back would be productive, just start with one thing. Start with taking lunch hour off. And when you're off on lunch hour, because everybody has lunch hour, they still tend to work through it, right? So take your lunch hour off tomorrow. Completely disconnect from your phone, your computer, and be present while you're eating lunch. Be mindful of what it is you're doing. And then on your lunch, instead of shoveling your food down and then getting straight back on your phone to answer messages or whatever it is that you're doing, keep your phone away in your pocket and go outside. Get some fresh air. Write your gratitude. Think of all the things you're so happy and grateful for having in your life. Because when you return back from that lunch and fueling your body with dense, nutritious foods, you're going to come back to doing whatever it was you were doing before work, refreshed, rejuvenated, with a clear mind, feeling good, your energy's back up, and you're ready to go. Rather than, holy shit, it was already a full hour of lunch. Oh my God, I just want the day to be over, right? Two different things. So focus on that throughout the next week. Let me know how you're feeling. Let me know areas that pop up for you and feelings that pop up for you, because the more we can dissect that and find that out for ourselves, the more successful we will be in business. Okay? So have an absolutely amazing Thursday. Have an amazing weekend, and we will see you back here on Monday. Bye.